The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
On a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people there were observing him carefully. In front of him, there was a man suffering from dropsy. Jesus spoke to the scholars of the law and Pharisees in reply, asking, "Is it lawful to cure on the Sabbath or not?" But they kept silent. So he took the man, and after he had healed him, dismissed him. Then he said to them, "Who among you, if your son or ox falls into a cistern, would not immediately pull him out on the Sabbath day?" But they were unable to answer his question. Brothers and sisters, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
Jesus did not really hate the Pharisees. It's just that he disagreed with them in many points, almost in all points, so that every time they have the encounter, and they have questions, and they ask Jesus a lot of questions all the time, in order to gain knowledge or to learn from him, but always to trip him off or to trick him, para siya ay linlangin, o kaya ang kanilang mga tanong ay mga patibong para siya ay mahulog, sa kanilang nais na mangyari, na makitaan nila ng pagkakamali ang Panginoon. Kaya nga sabi ko, hindi naman siya talaga hindi niya kinamumuhian ang mga Pariseo, pero hindi siya sang-ayon sa mga marami, sa mga nais ng mga Pariseo. At isang patunay ang ebanghelyo na binasa natin sa araw na ito. The Lord was actually dining with the leading Pharisee. So he was actually disagreeing with them, but at the same time he keeps good relationship with them. Parang ganun din ang relasyon natin sa mundong ito. We may disagree with some people, but it does not mean that we hate them. But it could also mean we can keep good relationships with them. Katulad ng mag-asawa, pwedeng maraming bagay na hindi sila magkasundo o hindi sila nagkakaintindihan, pero hindi ibig sabihin na kailangan ng kamuhian ng bawat isa. It's just that we have to accept our differences. What the Lord really didn't like was the hypocrisy of the scribes and the Pharisees and the experts of the law. So every time they would ask Jesus question, that is the time that they would always be in contrast with one another. And that is also very clear in the gospel that we have read today. And so it was a Sabbath day, so araw ng pamamahinga. And we know that the Lord did not have a home of his own, did not have a house of his own. That is why every time during Sabbath, he would go from house to house, kung sino yung tatanggap sa kanya. Pwedeng kasama niya minsan na yung mga mahihirap, o minsan naman kasama niya yung pupunta sa bahay ng kanyang mga alagad o ng kanyang mga disipulo. And on this particular Sabbath day, he was in the house of a leading Pharisee. So he was actually invited by a Pharisee himself. So Jesus, nakikisama, ang Panginoon ay nakikisama sa lahat, kahit na minsan nung kanya pinapakisamahan ay hindi sumasang-ayon sa kanya. But he is the Lord of order, he is the Lord of peace, and he is the Lord of reconciliation. That is why pinagbibigyan niya ang mga panahong ito o mga pagkakataong ito. But then every time Jesus would encounter questions from experts of the law, the scribes and the Pharisees, Jesus would always also take that as a moment, an opportunity to teach. And every time we hear Jesus speaking with the Pharisees, he would always give brilliant answers, words of wisdom. Just like today, they were again put to silence when Jesus asked, "Is it lawful to cure on a Sabbath?" Well, for the scribes and the Pharisees, it was very clear. It is unlawful, because that is what the law prescribes. You should not do healing. You should not do anything that is heavy or anything that you can do on other days. And you should refrain from doing that on a Sabbath, just like healing the sick. So you have 6 days in every week, but on the Sabbath, do not do that. That is actually how they interpreted the law. And as we know, the scribes and the Pharisees and the experts of the law have multiplied the law that was given to Moses, the 10 Commandments, into 613 other laws. That is why it was even more difficult for people to move. Ang daming prescription, ang daming bawal, ang daming hindi pwede, ang daming kailangang sundin. And many times, it is more difficult than easy to live with all these 600 plus laws. And one of the prescription there is that it is prohibited, it is unlawful to heal on a Sabbath. But even with that very obvious question, they did not answer the question of Jesus. So when Jesus asked them, is it lawful to cure on a Sabbath? Nobody answered him. They were actually waiting for him to fall into his own doing. And so the Lord added something more. He healed the man. He healed the man. Despite the Pharisees not answering his question, he went on. Although the answer to the question is obvious, that it is unlawful, Jesus did it anyway. He healed the man who was suffering from dropsy. So may mga namamaga sa kanyang katawan because of excess of fluids. And Jesus healed the man. And so the Lord asked them as a follow-up question, so sino sa inyo? Sino sa inyo ang hindi gagawa ng paraan kapag ang inyong anak o ang inyong tupa ay nahulog sa isang balon sa araw ng pamamahinga? Sino sa inyo ang hindi magmamadali upang iahon ang kanyang anak o ang kanyang tupa mula sa balon kung saan siya nahulog? And then further silence. Lalo silang nanahimik sapagkat alam nila na sa araw, kahit anong araw man, kapag kailangan ka in matters of life and death and in matters of emergency, there is no such thing as any day. It could happen any time. We don't make appointments with accidents. We don't make appointments, even with good works. Things happen, sometimes in the most unexpected moment, that we expect. And when that happens, what do? Will you wait for the next day? No, immediately you will do something. You will do something good in order to save lives. And that is the point of Jesus. When you do something good, do it. Do it at the very moment you can do it. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for next week, even if it is a Sabbath. Because the Lord said, I am the Lord of the Sabbath. And doing good things doesn't have time. It is all the time. If I don't do it now, this opportunity to help, this opportunity to save a life, may not come again. Kaya nga, lagi natin sinasabi, kung ano mang mabuti ang kaya kong gawin ko na ito ngayon. Sapagkat baka hindi na ako dumaan muli sa daan na ito. So if I have the chance and the opportunity now, let me do it now. Because this is the moment that I am asked to do it. I am able, and I can respond. So that is why we call this thing responsibility. So we have the ability to respond, to do something good, and we always have the ability and the capability to do something good. So hindi natin sinasabi, mag-a-appointment tayo, bukas na lang ako gagawa ng mabuti. O kaya next week na lang, magkakamali muna ako ngayon, magpapakasala muna ako ngayon. Then maybe Tuesday, that will be the day of good works, and then Sunday, I will take a rest. No, we don't make appointments with good works. In fact, sabi nga, the best kindness are random kindnesses, acts of kindness. yung hindi natin iniisip, yung hindi natin pinaghahandaan, yung basta-basta na lang nangyari. No? At sometimes, the impact is even greater, not only to the one no, we do kindness to, but even to ourselves. No? Minsan yung hindi mo pinlano, pero nakagawa ka ng mabuti. At mas maganda at mas masarap ang pakiramdam, hindi lamang sa'yo, kundi doon sa taong tinulungan mo. And the best act of kindness is kindness that is random, that is not planned. If you are given the chance and given the opportunity to do something good, do it. Do not delay. Because the Lord reminds us, tomorrow may not come for us. Or maybe tomorrow we will no longer be there. So what we can do today, especially good things, we do it now.